Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing? Ah, hello, hello. Happy book club day. How are you? I'm crocheting in the background, so I'll be in and out. Hope everyone is wonderful. Yeah. Checking my scissors to see if the points match. Yes. Hi, MB. This took this book definitely made me want to try decoupage. Seriously. Yes. There were 3 How to Decoupage books on the Friends of Library book sale shelf yesterday, and I had to force myself not to buy them. No! Yeah, I'm very, very, very impressed by your restraint. Oh my goodness. Hi, Ellen. How are you? Oh my goodness. I can't believe that we are already here at the end of May. My hair's all crazy. How's everyone doing? Are you guys doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful? All of that. I can't afford any new hobbies. That's pretty much me as well. I'm sitting here and I'm like, no, Courtney, you do not need to learn how to go in decoupage. It was very, very, very hard. If you guys don't follow me uh, on Instagram, I started watching actual like decoupage videos and trying to learn how to do those things. And I was like, Courtney, no, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. Um, but yeah. So, how's all of you? How are you all doing? I miss you guys so much. Sorry, I was a few minutes late. Trying to put these kids down to bed. It gets harder and harder, like the older they get. Um, Aw, thank you so much, Jennifer. I'm so excited. I was looking at all of the data so far for actually I have for Deadly Drafts, my book, and uh I've already sold like over 100 of Deadly Drafts, which I thought was pretty cool since it just came out yesterday. I was like, yay! Totally want to do the coasters that you posted. Like there were so many amazing ones. Yes, thank you so much. I am so excited. My physical copy arrived today. I have been just like, congrats on the sales. Thank you. Just sort of gobsmacked by like people who are messaging and all of these nice things people are saying. It's just really warmed my heart. And, you know, not that I ever forgot, but just how amazing the cozy community is. It's just, they're just so fantastic. I got the ebook. How can we get autographed copies? Oh, okay. So, one of, um, one of, one of my followers, Andrea, she messaged me on Instagram and asked me how to get autographed copies. And so I just I signed a book this morning for her and I popped it in the mail and she just paid for the book and paid for the shipping. Um and so I think like for her it came out to be like $18 because uh medium mail, I think it was like $6 and something to mail it. But if you want me to sign a book and send it to you, and get you one of the bookmarks that I made, you can message me on Instagram and I'll get your address and sign a book and send it over to you. Um, but yeah, I am so excited. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. You're so nice. But yeah, I'm very excited about having my book signing this weekend. On Saturday, I'm going to be signing at Book and Bloom, which is a sort of like a florist bookshop. So it's like a mixture of it, which is sort of like Literary Stitches, which is a craft and bookstore. I loosely based it off of Book and Bloom. So I'm super, super stoked that I get to do a signing there. And they've been so nice and kind, and I'm thrilled. But let's talk book club stuff. So we read, oh my goodness, why is it Lucy Lawrence, which I didn't know, or maybe one of you guys said that the author for the Decoupage Mystery series, Lucy Lawrence, is also Jen McKinley. I don't know why that did not like just stick in my head, but it didn't. And so of course I'm going to love the book. Like, there's like, hands down, of course I'm going to love it, because Jen McKinley is an amazing, amazing author. So I absolutely love that. So the first book in the series was Stuck on Murder. And I am absolutely in love with the cover of these series. They're really, really cool. I love the fact that there is, hold on, I'm trying to bring it up. Stuck on Murder. There we go. I love like the subtle nod to the stationery shop. It looks awesome. So for Brenna Miller, teaching Morse Point popular decoupage class is the only way to gloss over her painful past, but it hasn't been easy making friends in a small town that doesn't warm up to outsiders. I really, really, really enjoyed this series a lot. I loved Tinley, who was her best friend, and the fact that Tinley is basically like royalty in Morse Point, because her name is Tinley Morse, and her ancestors were the ones that founded the small town. And so, I mean, everybody looks to her to see, like, are we going to like someone? Are we going to approve of them? Different kinds of things. So I want you guys to put your ratings for book 1 in the comments. And I'm trying to find the full, because for some reason on Goodreads, the synopsis of the book is not all the way there. It stops like mid sentence, which I thought was very, very strange, which is why I was hesitating, because that did not make any sense to me. But it says, Brenna Miller just wants to teach decoupage and stay out of trouble. But when the mayor is murdered and her landlord is the prime suspect, she'll have to glue together the truth to clear his name. Bum, bum, bum. I thought that this was so, so well done. We've got 4 Cleos, really enjoyed. I have no self-restraint, so I got the other 2. 4, 4, 4, 4.5. Ebook Classic Cozy, Close Knit Town, Major Misdirection, Twisty Reveal. 4, 3, it was fine. 5 Cleos. I love that. I gave it 4 stars, and spoiler alert, or not spoiler alert, if you've been watching my videos, I've already read the other 2. So I've read the whole entire series. That's how much I enjoyed the town, the people, and there were a lot of things that I think were good to sort of talk about. I love how Gary uh gave us some questions to talk about because um I think that they're really really good. So uh one of um one of the questions is, do you think the town gossip queens, the Porter sisters, were indispensable to the investigation? Did you find charming Ella and Marie's constant harmonious competition? I really do think that the Porter sisters were vital to being able to figure out the whodunit with I mean, not only this book, but in all of the other books, like they are pivotal in the series. And I think that one of the things that I realized is at first I was sort of like, oh goodness, like I'm just gonna roll my eyes at them. Uh but the more that the book went on and the more that you got introduced to them, um, I really, really enjoyed the Porter sisters and their bickering back and forth and the who's gonna tell the gossip or who's gonna get to the gossip first. They were sort of the on the paper humor uh break that you need during some parts of a story. Um and um I really enjoyed them. I didn't feel like I was annoyed by them. I didn't feel like they were over the top. I felt like they were just like Alicia said, they were annoyingly lovable, which is just like perfect. Um think it might be my favorite cozy escape book of the year. Ah! Uh, Queen, my favorite too. Their bickering was fun from Envy. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed their dynamic with not only each other, but with Tinley and with Brenna. And then as the book went on, their acceptance of Brenna into the community that Brenna earned herself, not just because she was best friends with Tinley. You know, I thought that was really well done. Um, and it seemed believable. So Brenna has moved to Morse Point to get away from a very dangerous crime uh, ridden Chicago. And she just sort of wants to start over and just sort of hide. At the beginning of the book, she's really scared of the outside world, I would say. She is very much in herself and doesn't really trust anyone other than Tenley. And we find that the reason why is because she was falsely accused of robbing her employer, an art gallery in Chicago. And she was knocked unconscious, and the police um they looked at her as the prime suspect and they didn't want to look anywhere else, and it was only by basically accident that she was able to clear her name. And so she has a very hard time trusting authority and really believing that they're going to do the right thing, if that makes sense. Um, and so when uh she finds out that her landlord, Nate, who is having a huge all out brawl basically with Mayor Ripley or Dim Dipley, is that what he called him? I think that's what he called him. Uh and when Nate gets when the mayor is found killed, um Nate is the prime suspect because of how much of a, uh, sort of brawl that him and the mayor had, and so she is afraid that Nate is going to get unjustly, um, uh, put in jail for something that he didn't actually do. And so I think that it was actually really believable that she wanted to figure out the who done it to make sure that Nate was not unjustly put in jail. Um, how does Brenna's personal experience with violent crime and false accusations influence her investigative zeal? Does the history excuse her ethical lapses in the searches of the mayor and editor's office? So I think that that was the only thing in book one that I felt like I was like, mm, would she really do that? Like, almost I couldn't suspend my belief was when she went into the editor's office. I could even though it was absolutely ridiculous, how she got into the mayor's office with Tinley and Matt, like, going in and the exploding, fire, um, extinguisher, and I j like, that was absolutely ridiculous, and her going in and, like, excuse me. That did sort of toe the line on, like, ethical, not ethical, am I cool with my sleuth kinda doing that? Um, and then the one that I thought I was like, "Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous," was when she went into the editor's office and, like, she was going through and got the, coffee all over his desk, and, um and when she guessed the password as Pulitzer, I was like, "I don't know about that." I mean, I work in technology, and so that one was kind of hard for me to believe. But then I also have to remember that this was written in 2010, I think. Um, I love how her backstory played into her motivation to solve the crime. Yes, 100%. I think that's why I was able to sort of overlook her going into the mayor and editor's office, is because I felt like it was believable enough. Um, Brenna justified these searches to herself. Um, she'll return the stolen file. Looking at the editor's email, okay, as long as she doesn't delete it. Yes. So like she was justifying and validating to herself, like, I'm not really do you know, I'm not really doing criminal things. I'm not really doing this. But like as the reader, you're sitting there and you're like, are you like, is your toe like kind of going over the line like a little bit, a little bit? Um that part didn't age well. You correct. I agree. It did not 100% age well, but I will say that for the most part this book did age pretty well comparatively. Uh I had an issue with her going into the editor's office. It also had a little cringe when she questioned the hostess at the mob boss's restaurant. Would an intelligent human really do that, right? Seriously. And then I don't know about you, but like the swing of bringing in like the mob, totally did not see that coming. I was very much like, what? I did not see that coming. And oh, what do you guys think about this whole potential love triangle between Brenna, Nate, and Dom that were being hinted at? I'd love to know what you guys thought about that as well. And do you like those kind of things? I normally don't like love triangles in my cozy mysteries. Um, but I will say, did not mind it in this one. Um, to me, those searches seemed like classic cozy actions. Not a fan of love triangles. I totally like it. Um, not a huge fan of love triangles. Yeah, but I think that what got me is that I actually really like Dom and I like Nate. Like I like both of them as humans. And so that that always gets me when it comes to a love triangle. Like if you can actually make me go, I don't know which one you should choose, I think that that's like the loophole for me personally. Um, were you all comfortable with Nate's penchant for playing the celebrity card to his advantage? Nate kept saying it's who you know, but did he really mean it's who knows you? Um, I think that that was played a lot in this book. Um, and but I don't think that it was I don't know if it was too much. I think at some point it was sort of like, all right, yeah, we know that you're a popular man, like all of that. I feel that as well. Um, don't like love triangles in cozies. I don't always like the mob being involved because it's not creative. I did like Dom since he just wants to be a businessman. Yes. And I think that that's what was the turning point for me is when it was like, it wasn't the mob and Dom was really like, no, that's not who I want to be. That's not who I want my family to be. I thought that that was an interesting tweak and take on that mob theme in the book. I like that there's some unpredictability in the romantic subplot. Yeah. I was really angry at Nate for using his key to get into her home, and then he made it out like she was overreacting. I agree. There were some times that I was like seriously, you need to back up. Yeah, Kathy, seriously. Um, Nate was a little too confident, which made me suspicious of him. Yeah, I was suspicious at first too, because then I was like, oh, so we're not doing a love triangle thing. But yeah, although it is kind of a trope for the mob guy to claim he's going legit when he really isn't. That is very, very true. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone. Um, but yeah, beyond mobile phones and email, did the absence of today's technology devices make the book published in 2009? Okay, yeah, um, seem anachronistic? Uh, does word of mouth news, copy stores, and newspaper back issues enhance the cozy vibe better than social media, photo apps, and search engines? Yes, 100,000,000% to me. I felt like I was in a traditional, fun, um, cozy mystery. I didn't feel taken out. Like there's something to be said about having social media and like more technology in your mysteries. There's something to be said about modern cozy mysteries, right? But sometimes I'm just tired of technology. I work in it every single day. I was up to my eyeballs in AI research today for education, and I am so tired of it that it was a really nice break to not have, "Oh, I saw this on, um, Instagram or Bookface," or, like, all of these things, and then sort of given the information. Like, I'll say, like, in Death on Deck, I did have, some social media, uh in part of the figuring it out, but it was I don't wanna spoil my own book, but it was, like, through, like, a back end kind of way, like, it still made sense. Um, but I really, really liked, like Kathy said, I really liked the absence of tech and social media. I it made me feel cozier. Like, it made me feel like I was in the archives and looking at the newspaper back issues. It made me feel like I was there, like, more tactile? Like, is that a weird way to say that? I don't know any other way to, like, explain how it made me feel, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. Um, I like the do it yourself attitude of the cast rather than depending on tech. Exactly. And the thing is, um, the way that this was written, other than uh the copy store and the way that she was able to crack into his computer, the book itself did not seem like it was written in 2009. Like, I feel like other than those two things, we could have um that book could have come out now and I would have enjoyed it just as much. Tech is not so cozy. No, it is not. It is not so cozy. No. Um so, compared to like culinary cozies, how successful was the author's integration of decoupage into this hobby cozy? What was your impressions of decoupage tips given at the beginning of each chapter? I flipping loved the decoupage theme. I am pissed that there are only 3 books in this series. I loved um the advice at the beginning of every chapter, which I will say that does not continue in book 2 and book 3. There isn't the advice, but there is still the paper with the scissors as like the header inside the book, which is nice. I read all of these books on ebook. I didn't even get the audiobooks. Um and but I loved this as a hobby cozy mystery, and it's so unique and so different that I w I spent hours, it's embarrassing. I spent hours watching decoupage videos on YouTube and on Instagram Reels. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the decoupage ones that I was sharing on my Instagram stories. I was like, "This is stunning. This is fantastic. I want to do this." Like, I've even saved my glass maple syrup bottles because I've been using that for my iced coffee. I am saving those and I'm going to get the labels off and then I'm going to decoupage um dried flowers onto the bottles. I'm very, very excited about it. But yeah, no, it became a hyper fixation for me. Um, the mob part was the only piece that felt old. And I mean, yeah, mob is old. I loved the tips at the beginning of the chapters. I enjoyed learning about decoupage. It seemed so fun. It really didn't seem dated. I did notice a couple of moments where a comment stuck out as being a red flag in today's world, but it wasn't a red flag in 2009. Very true. I love cozy hobbies. She did a good job weaving decoupage into the story. I didn't expect to like the decoupage thing, but I did. I am glad this was a book club pick because the hobby wouldn't draw me to buy it. But after reading the book, I loved the tips and the hobby. Yes. The birdhouse was a major clue that was made by the mayor's wife in the decoupage class. Great way to integrate the hobby. Yes, yes, it was so good. So good. Um Same Alicia. And I will say that, like, did you expect the who done it? I like I changed my mind. I don't even know how many times um on who I thought that the killer could be. So, like, I was like, "Oh, maybe it is Nate who killed the mayor." And then I'm like, "Oh, no. Maybe it is the editor who killed the mayor." Like, the mayor was such an unlikable person that it was so believable. that all like that the whole damn town wanted to kill him, right? Like, that's it really, really felt that way to me, and so, I really, really enjoyed, those things, Kathy. The clues and red herrings were really good. Yes, it wasn't as easy to figure out the killer in this one. I agree, and that's really, really hard to do. I've read hundreds and hundreds of cozy mysteries, and so to have to like be um stalled on this one to figure it out, like uh that was good. There was a line where they said the wife and best friend looked alike, so I thought that it was one of them. Yes. So, like, I did see that, especially when the mayor kissed the best friend the, um not the wife. But, like, even them, like, did the wife really go and meet Dom? Or was it the best friend that went and met Dom? And, like, is the mayor having an affair with her best friend? There were so many, like, what ifs that I was like, Um, the birdhouse on the cover made me notice it when the mayor's wife brought it in. Yes, which I loved that hint in the book cover because, like, you don't know what on the book cover could be a secret, like, clue, which I think is super cool. Um, I forgot about that kiss. It makes more sense now. Yeah, because at the time you're just kinda like, "Oh," because Brenna was very much like, "Yeah, they look alike. Why do they have to look so much alike?" Um, that it just seemed like kind of funny to go with, like, her line of thinking. Um, I thought that that was really, really interesting. Do you think that Brenna and Nate will ever be accepted as locals by town residents? And when will Brenna shed her big city fears and find peace in her small town life? Um, I feel like towards the end of the book, Brenna was becoming more accepted than Nate. Um, like, that's how I feel, is that she was more accepted than Nate towards the end of the book, mostly because she is best friends with Tinley and, like the Porter sisters said, uh, if Tinley accepts you, then everyone is going to slowly accept you as well. Um, so I feel like the town was warming up to Brenna and seeing her as someone who, even though not everybody in the town even liked the mayor, um, seeing her as someone who tried to figure out who killed their own. Um, if that makes sense. Um, but overall, like, I really, really, really enjoyed the whole series. So let me know, are you going to continue the series? Um, I would love to know if you're going to continue the series. When one day Brenna leaves her car unlocked, she will feel like a local. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When she leaves that front door unlocked as well, right? You know that she'll feel safe. Um MB, I would pick them up. And like I said, I already read all of them. There are only 3 books in the series. I will let you know that book 3 does wrap up the whole entire series. All of the strings, all of the everything are wrapped up in book 3. I'm not gonna say anything else other than that. I do wanna message Jen McKinley and, be like, "Hey, listen, I just wanna know, like, are we ever gonna see Tinley and Brenna again?" Which we're probably not, because I have now learned that um if a publisher doesn't continue your series, that they still own your series forever, however long your contract is, and you cannot write in that series or have any of those characters in anything else until their contract of owning your book is over and you've bought back your rights. So, in case you didn't know that, that is why uh Death on Deck has not had a book 2 because my publisher has not asked for a book 2 yet. Um, and so, they own my book for 5 years. And so I'm sort of in a limbo right now with that. Um, yes, continuing, loved it. I'll definitely read the others. I might continue. My TBR is so long. Yeah, I feel you. Yes, I will continue reading the series. We'll pick up a little later because I'm so behind on other series and books. I feel you, Ivy. It's too bad there aren't any more books. Thanks, Courtney. I hate it when they leave you hanging. Yes, I'm I'm happy when if like a publisher is like, hey, this isn't doing very well. We're going to give you one more book to wrap up all of the loose ends. I feel like that is respectful to the author, to the readers, to the genre. Um, because I've had series, like one of my favorite series is the apple cider series by trying to find it on my bookshelf. Like the first one's like Apple Cider Slaying by Julian Lindsay. Like there are no more, and not all of those loose ends were tied up. And it drives me in absolute sane because I love those characters. Um, and I feel like we should have been able to have a closure on um on that series as a whole. Um, but uh for the June book club pick, our theme was animal cozy mysteries. And so we had 3 that sounded absolutely amazing, by the way. But the book that won by 55, or it had 55%, so we didn't have a tie this month. So there's that. But the book that won is Shady Hollow. This is the first book in the Shady Hollow mystery series by Juno Black. It says, in Shady Hollow, we are introduced to the village of Shady Hollow, a place where woodland creatures live together in harmony until a curmudgeonly toad turns up dead and the local reporter has to solve the case. Reporter Vera Vixen is a relative newcomer to Shady Hollow. The fox has a nose for news, so when she catches wind that the death might be a murder, she resolves to get to the bottom of the case, no matter where it leads. As she stirs up still waters, the fox exposes more than one mystery and discovers that additional lives are in jeopardy. Vera finds more to this town than she ever suspected. It seems someone in the hollow will do anything to keep her from solving the murder, and soon it will take all of Vera's cunning and quickness to crack the case. There are 6 books in this series, but there's more than that because there's like a 3.5, and then there's a 4.5. So this is very much a different type of cozy mystery than we've ever read. I don't think that we've ever read a cozy mystery where all of the characters are animals. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Love the apple cider series. Cool. I already grabbed the ebook on Libby. Yay. That's going to be so outside of my comfort zone. Ivy, I hope that you love it. I loved this book so much. Need to get back to the series, but hadn't had time. I'll be curious to see if the characters feel like animals or people. Ooh, that's a really good question. Thank you for another fun book club. Great questions, Gary. I have had Shady Hollow on my shelves forever. Excited to read that one. Yeah, everybody, claps for Gary in coming up with amazing book club discussion questions the past few months. I love you, Gary, so much. You are absolutely a gem. Absolutely amazing. I could not have come up with better book club questions. than what Gary has done. It's so good. So good. Um, but yeah, I'm super excited. I feel like my cozy mystery um reading has sort of gotten a kick in the butt. Like I've absolutely been hammering, like, I literally binge read the first 3 books in this series for book club, and then I'm on book 9 of, Ellery Adams' Storyton series, and, like, I am just, like, go, go, going, and I am so, so excited. See, everybody loves you, Gary. You are amazing. I feel like Shady Hollow is Zootopia in Cabot Cove. Oh my god, Renee, that is, like, that is perfection. Yes. Um, but but everyone's miles may vary. Yeah, no, 100% fantastic. I love you guys so much. Um, I am hoping to be able to vlog a little bit for my book signing to bring along those that are not going to be able to make it on Saturday, because I really want you guys to see um Main Street Broken Arrow and the shop and everything that Deadly Drafts is based on. I want you guys to be able to see. So I'm hoping I can do some vlogging during there, as long as I don't get embarrassed. Um, I get real, real shy, like bringing out my camera in public and recording anything. I feel like imposter syndrome. But we shall see if I can overcome it. I've only been doing my channel for 8 years now, Courtney. Like, you should be used to it, but I'm not. Um, have a great night and enjoy the end of the school year. Congrats on your book and your book sign and your thing signing. Thank you, MB. Yes, my last day of work is June 11th, and I have so many thoughts. Like, one of the books that I'm working on right now, all of this stuff is inside here, and like it's literally calling my name for me to continue writing. So, yeah, I have a whole entire summer planned out of writing. Um, yes, guys, Kathy's going to come to the book signing, and I'm so excited to meet them in person. So excited. But yeah, good night, everyone. I am going to go and curl up with my next book. And I have to get up super early tomorrow and drive to Oklahoma City for a work thing. So I should probably get off here now and get ready for that. Good night, everyone. We will see you on the next live stream on the last Wednesday of June, which I think is like June 25th. And then, but I'll also see you on comments in the videos. And you can always message me on Instagram. I'm always down to chat about damn near anything because I love you all. But good night, everyone. Bye.